Alright, we're going to start with the easiest thing first. So if I come in and tab select into this guy and edit this family, basically this is a rig that has triangular adaptive components with a material parameter and one rectangular adaptive component. So we'll make those first and then we'll come back and make this rig. Alright, so I'm going to start by going to File, New, Family. And I'm going to go to my English Imperial and I'm going to get the generic model adaptive and open that guy up. And then I am going to change my background to make it not a gradient. And so basically what we need to do here is create 3 points, make them adaptive because that means they'll suck down to other points, and make a face on that and put a surface on it. And put a material on it. So later on we can make thickness and we can do other things, but start simple. So what you'll want to do is go into points and just drop 3 points. Left click and hit escape a couple of times to stop the point command. Window around those points and make them adaptive. Pretty easy so far. And then the next thing we're going to do is put reference lines that connect those so we can make a surface. So reference line. And we want this up here to say draw on face because that means it will go directly to the object. And we also want 3D snapping on. So if these things move three-dimensionally, this line will stay with it. So I'm going to do that and just come through here and go 1, 2, 3 and close that up. Hit escape a couple of times. And then I'm going to pick this and, whoops, sorry about that, and create form. If I click on create form, it'll give me 2 options, a solid one and a surfaced one. And I'm going to do the surfaced one first. It's always good, from my opinion, to start with the simpler thing and we can move up to the extruded. So now that I've got that, I actually have a little surface in there. It's a little hard to see because the things are coming through it. But one thing you want to do once you get this is come in and grab one of these points and get the Z and kind of pull it up and make sure everything's following and things aren't breaking. You know, like lines aren't staying behind and surfaces aren't staying behind. So you should be able to have a form element, these guys, and actually your lines stay behind, so you kind of have this. So the next thing I want to do is just go in and pick the form element. You got to make sure you get the form element and not the lines and not the points. If you can't get it, you can just do a crossing box and do to filter and just get the generic model and it'll give you that form. And once you get the form, you can come in and put a material parameter on it. So I'm going to come in here and check and click on this little gray box, which is associate family parameter with this item. And I'm going to make a new parameter. And it's going to set it up for me because it knows it's a material because I went from this area. So I'm just going to call this triangle material. Okay, and then click OK and click OK. And then I'll save this. So let's make a new folder. New Canopy. Put it in here, and I will name it 3-point triangle. Okay. And now that I'm done with that, the next thing I want to do is make a few different types of this. So what I can do is I can come in here to my family types dialog box, and I have a triangle material, and I just want to make 3 types. So I'm going to go to new type up here, and I'm going to call this canvas, or let's call this shade 1. And I'm going to change the material. Click on that little gray dot 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 and I'll just type in fabric. And I'm going to put canvas on this one and use render appearance for shading and click OK. And then I'm going to go to new and I'll say shade 2 and click OK. And for shade 2, instead of canvas, let's do another fabric. I'll come and take Don't really want carpet. How about linen beige? We'll use render appearance for that. Click OK. And then one more type, and we'll name this opaque glass 1. Click OK. And don't want linen on that, so we'll come in here and type glass. And let's see what we've got. How about glass bronze glazing? Use render appearance for that. Not sure what the appearance is for this, but we'll work with it later, so I'll just click OK for that. Maybe I'll make one more. I'll just make a opaque glass 2. And for that one, let's go glass. I think there's a glass brick, but I think there's a glass mat. So let's put this one, and maybe we rename this glass mat gold. Whoops. And we'll change the appearance, right, maybe to sort of a goldish color. Right? Okay. Alright. And so now I have various different types, right, of this guy. So let's go to shaded. So if I go to shaded, I'll get different versions of that based on which type I pick, right? So that's the glass 2. If I go to shade 2 and hit apply, so now I've got all of these different materials applied to this guy. So now that we've got that done, you could make a 4.1 the same way, and just put a canvas material on it maybe. And then I'll come back and we'll talk about making that rig to put it on.